demonstration by neo-Nazis over the weekend in Columbus, Ohio. The armed group marched carrying flags with swastikas on them. Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas has the story. Good morning, Pierre.
George, good morning. The hate was right out in the open. So brazen, Ohio's governor felt compelled to respond. This morning, new surveillance footage of an armed group of men carrying flags emblazoned with swastikas marching through the streets of Columbus, Ohio. The troubling incident happening Saturday afternoon. Each person dressed head to toe in all black, masks concealing their faces. They shouted vile and racist speech against Jews and people of color. Ohio's governor denouncing the neo-Nazis, writing, "There is no place in this state for hate, bigotry, anti-Semitism, or violence." Hate crimes have been on the rise for the past several years, according to data from the FBI. The Anti-Defamation League also notes a stunning increase in acts of anti-Semitism, with incidents doubling last year compared to 2022. Overnight, African-American community leaders in Columbus taking to the same streets in a peaceful counter-protest.
Today, it sends a clear message that this cannot happen in our city, in this state, nor in this nation. We're not going to be repelled. We're not going to be moved back.
Just a week ago in Michigan, another group carrying Nazi flags outside a theater production of The Diary of Anne Frank. We asked both President Biden and President-elect Trump about the Ohio incident. Biden responded denouncing the incident. We're awaiting a response from Trump. Because there was no violence in Columbus and apparently no direct threat of violence, no arrests were made. The First Amendment allows for all kinds of free speech, including speech dripping with hate. Robin?
All right, Pierre, thanks to you.
What's up out there, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this chilly Wednesday. I'm doing well myself. You can see what we are facing, okay? We got neo-Nazis, aka subs, marching through Columbus, Ohio, spewing racist hatred, slurs against the people of the book. Okay, we all know, for those of us that are in the know, who the people of the book is. That would be us, the descendants of the Israelites, the ancient tribe of the people of the Most High himself. Okay, it's never been about our skin color. It's always been about our identity. Our identity is of the Israelite heritage. And the enemy always knew that. It's not because we are black. It's not that. Okay? But it's because of who we are. We're just coming into knowledge of who we are. The Most High is waking us up as a people. But the enemy always knew who we were and where we come from and who we are of. This is the reason why we are hated. Just like we know who he is, which is basically the seed of Satan from Cain himself. Okay, that was the first seed of Satan, Cain. Okay, which spewed, these different tribes of these haters, of the Most High's children. Okay, now as you can see here on the heading here, it says he wants blacks and Latinos deported. Okay, this guy right here. To your right, I don't know who his name is. I ran across him, on TikTok. I saw a couple of twins actually did the video about him or what have you, and he really wants black people deported because he basically says, this is their land, so-called European land. Now I don't understand, the strong delusion behind that, because this is not his land. This is not their land. We've heard of uncountless stories over the years of how they would stand up and talk about, my father, my great grandfather came over here in 1920 with $1 in his hand and he built a business and all of those kinds. No, he got everything given to him that was once our ancestors. Land, you understand what I mean? Free housing, government subsidies, all kinds of things. This is what their bootstraps was all about. Privilege, okay? And now we got them talking about this is their land and what have you. When we know some kind of way, y'all was something that came out of some mountains over in Khazaria somewhere. You know what I mean? Khazaria, called the Caucasus Mountains or what have you. And hey, y'all was later called Caucasians based off of that name, Caucasus Mountains. So y'all later was called Caucasian. This is your true home. Now, how you got there, I don't know. But there's some things that's been, written and has been said of your true lineage. And let's just say it was something of not of this earth, but then mingled with things of this earth. It's how you became. But you do not own this land right here. You don't. But without further ado, I want you guys to listen to this 8-minute video. It's very interesting. That way you can understand where this enemy is coming from for yourself. So sit back and check this out.
Strap in, because this interview is going to make you feel like you're going back in time. Let's go.
So you want to live in a white-only country?
Not necessarily white only, but a country that is clearly based on a European model.
Right, the people who fled the European model wanted to start something exactly the same over here.
In which whites will basically remain the overwhelming majority in perpetuity.
Okay, how do you achieve that?
Well, that's an excellent question. Donald Trump has got some first good steps in mind.
Donald Trump, I'll tell you.
He wants to make sure no more illegal immigrants come into the country, and he wants to make sure that all illegal immigrants here go back.
Is anyone going to tell him that there's undocumented whites in this country?
He wants to end birthright citizenship.
Anyone want to let him know about the Constitution?
He wants to put at least a temporary ban on Muslim immigration.
Someone want to fill him in on the mindset of people fleeing religious persecution in the Middle East?
What happens with Asians? What happens with African Americans? What happens with Latinos?
What happens to my
You presented
people?
me with a very limited view of the United States.
You're saying the United States is a place anybody can come and turn it into anything you want,
You're trying to turn it into whatever you want.
and the people who built this country and established its institutions, if they glimmer away, so what?
Those people are dead.
You are promoting a process that will reduce my people to a minority. You want more power for Latinos. That comes at the expense
Exactly.
of my people's power.
Oh no, what are you going to do when you have to exist on the concepts of merit and the content of your character?
We're 17% of the population,
Right.
and we only have 3 senators. So therefore, we don't have the political representation that we deserve.
And you want more and more and more.
How dense do you have to be saying someone wants more, like there's some gold hoarding dragon, when you're just not giving anything up whatsoever, even for proportional representation?
Of course, because we only
How
have 3
much?
senators.
How much political?
At this point, 14 senators.
And 50 years from now, how many would you like?
A number that works in accordance with their percentage of the population.
Let's talk about 50 years from now. In 2044,
Yes.
white non-Hispanics will become a minority.
Yeah.
Is that what you are afraid of?
Mr. Ramos, it's fantastic for you, for my people to lose power and become a minority. That's fantastic for you. How does it feel for
Because-
me?
Scared. You're scared. Because you know that the way that you treat minorities is completely inhumane, and you believe that these people are just as depraved as you are. But they're not.
It is our country, Mr.
Our
Ted.
country, our
It
Yeah.
is our country. Don't you think we both have the same rights in this country?
I think that despite this nonsense in the Declaration about anybody being anyone,
Excuse me.
This guy hates the USA.
White
You
people,
don't
the white
think
people.
we are all created equal?
No.
And Jerry, you're kind of proving your own point, but not in the way that you think.
What you want to do is change this country into an entire nation in which white people will become refugees in their own land
So you don't-
if your vision comes through.
You don't want to
What the fuck do you think Latinos are?
live alongside Mexicans.
Now, why is it wrong for me not to want my neighborhood to change?
That's entropy, brother. The only thing that doesn't change is the fact that everything changes.
You'll
If
be-
my neighborhood is European, if my neighborhood they don't keep chickens in the backyard that crow at 3 a.m.
Do you think Mexicans are the only ones who keep chickens? Have you ever met a white lady in a brunch hat who hasn't talked about wanting to start a coop of her own?
What are you
They
talking
don't,
about?
I'm
That's a
talking
complete
about
stereotype. That's a complete
Yes,
stereotype.
and stereotypes are all true.
It's a racist stereotype, what you're saying.
Oh, racist. Give me a break.
No.
What are you going to do with the thousands of Muslims,
We certainly
American citizens, who are serving in the military?
I'm sure that we just couldn't possibly survive with all those Muslim Navy Rangers. Yes, I'm sure that's true.
This guy has never picked up a weapon for his country in his life.
That is not right.
No, I'm talking
You cannot
about
make
Muslim.
fun of people who are saving our lives.
They want special holidays and special food.
They want special food. Dude, bratwurst is too spicy for you, isn't it?
In
So if you
school
don't like their
restaurants,
religion, you don't have to join them.
Yeah, who's forcing religion on people, huh?
That's fine.
No,
but,
they are- wait,
but
I'm
also,
not-
but you can't discriminate against them simply
course.
because you.
Of course, anyone should have the right to discriminate against anyone he wishes.
One, why would you wish that? And two, those are called intrusive thoughts. We leave those inside.
And the point is,
But not
you know,
not by
why-
the law, Mr. Taylor. You can't do that.
I think the law is absolutely incorrect.
This guy hates America.
Do you feel that whites are superior or
I
more
think,
intelligent than blacks?
I think on average, whites are more intelligent than blacks, and North Asians are more intelligent than whites.
How can you
All
say
of this
that?
is- How can you think otherwise?
Jared, it's called critical race theory.
Mr. Taylor,
What
what are you,
evidence would you have to think that a pygmy is, on average, is just as intelligent as a Dane? Why would you think that?
What schools have they attended? And for that matter, what school did you attend?
The entire record of history
Written by who?
is completely consistent with the assumption that black Africans are less intelligent on average than Asians or Caucasians.
that's absurd. That's
No, no, no.
repugnant and
Wait.
absurd.
Repugnant to you.
Repugnant to people living in a civilized 21st century.
Yes, of course.
Why would you even entertain the possibility that on average a pygmy is as intelligent as a
The
Japanese?
Why would we assume that a white supremacist who lives in bumfuck middle of nowhere, only around people that look like him, would give a shit about anyone else?
comparison that you are trying to make, it is simply impossible because of historical circumstances, because economic conditions, because of the
More
movement.
excuses.
They're called facts and influences, Jared. You're using your straight passing white maleness as an excuse for everything you do that is absolutely decrepit.
We have to be willing to say to all those who are non-European,
You don't.
we wish you well, but this territory is for us. And sorry, we have the right to be us, and only we can be us.
Our tribal ape instincts still continue to have an influence on how we exist in society when it comes to our...
Now, y'all heard this man right here say, our tribal ape instincts. He said it. He's talking about them. He's referring to his kind. Okay? Ape. Let's continue.
skin color and what happens to be between our legs. But that's not what makes us us. What makes each person themselves is what makes them themselves. Kind of reductive, right? It's the things that we enjoy doing. It's the things that interest us. It's the knowledge that we have. It's what we can bring to society that is not our amount of melanin or what's underneath our clothing. This regressive mindset is destroying people. It's not allowing them to experience life to its fullest, and it's keeping them hating one another for things that cannot be changed about themselves. So this is one of those instances where I'm going to be intolerant. I am intolerant to intolerance. And I hope y'all are too. So, I'll still be here.
So as you can see, the white wannabe and wish he was supremacist over here to your right is under strong delusion. The biggest immigrant on this planet is him and his people. And he's everywhere trying to claim what is his, but it's not his. Talking about they are smarter than black people. Then Tell me, how is it that our people existed for so many centuries before y'all even showed up on the earth and was doing all of these phenomenal things like heart transplant, brain transplants? Mostly all of your inventions was made up of so-called black people. And you talking about you smarter. You understand? And then on top of that, you talk about what you've built. You have not built anything. Everything that was built was off of the so-called black folks' back. This whole entire land right here, which actually belongs to so-called black folks. You understand that? It does. That was before we was reclassified as black people. But when we were the true Native American, indigenous, aboriginal people of this land right here. You see. So see, this white wanna be supremacist, wish he was supremacist, but never will be supremacist. He's got a lot to learn. You understand? And as he spirals down to the minority class, which he was minority in the first place, they don't understand that. But as he spirals down into his rightful place, he's going to understand some things. No, you are not the majority. You are not the supreme. And that's just what it is. That's all I got on this one, people. I want you guys to tell me what you think about this particular situation right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on it in the comment section, if you can comment. But make sure you like and share and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.